talked about that, and the mayor is here, and we were just talking about some of the updates we've been doing in the studio. And the only problem with that's a cinder block plaster wall.
Right.
I don't want to drill into that.
Yeah.
And so the only thing I can think of is you see those, what do they call it, Versa mounts, the mounts that go on the back of monitors and TVs.
Oh, yeah.
And they make them that like clamp on a desk or have an extension pole. And I'm thinking I could go up above the drop ceiling, where the girders are, and I think the girders are running across here, and I could probably connect it to that, then drop it down through the drop ceiling, and then mount the monitor.
Yeah,
there.
you could do that pretty much anywhere. We did it at the restaurant, and super easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for someone like me, if I can do it, it's super easy.
So if I get the TV and the mount, you'll come and do it?
Sure, I'll come help you. I'll help supervise.
There you go. I'm pretty good at doing that too. So, and then what's funny is I nicked myself again in the arm. But the funny thing is I didn't do it in here.
Right.
I had a bunch of stuff in my hand, and I pulled the door open, and I hooked it on the handle on the door, and cut my wrist. And so I'm in here trying to pull stuff, and I've got paper towels and everything. got the bleeding because I didn't want to bleed all over everything.
Yeah.
So I get these little injuries, but it has nothing to do with what I'm actually working on. It's something crazy.
That's what Tanya always makes fun of me. If I'm working on anything, if I'm not bleeding, apparently I haven't done it right, because there's nothing I can do where I'm not cut myself or something.
Yeah, smash your thumb or
I don't know what the problem is. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't do Formica. I don't do tile. So I know there's people that do, and so I think that's going to be kind of the next phase, to try to update some of this stuff and get it cleaned up. But I got to get a leak fixed. If you look, there's like a water stain in the carpet.
Yeah.
And we had 2.5 inches of rain the other day.
Right.
And it comes in around the bricks there, so there's some caulking and stuff that we're going to have to do on the outside. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'd hate to put all new carpet in, and then first rain we get.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of the rain, we have the mayor with us, and speaking of the rain, you tear a hole in the street and it rains.
Yes. So everybody, you're welcome. So I was telling someone the other day, they were doing something, and I said, well, the only way to get your house shown is to make a mess, because every time something happens, they get to show their house. So, yeah, so whatever we got to do, wash your car to rain, we'll cut a hole in the street. I mean, we'll take it. So any way to get it.
Right, and I'm talking about, I think it's 13th and
20th.
20th and Grand, not 13th Grand.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be a mess.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Well, we did that a few years ago.
Yeah.
So that's started now? And
yes, it started. They're working on it, and obviously it's an inconvenience, but it sure will be good once it's all done. Byron's got a good plan, got a lot of stuff getting fixed, and of course the road will be fixed real nice. So it's always a headache, but at the end, it's always good to have good streets. And we'll have, then you think 13th's been completely redone. We did a lot of work under 13th. Now we're moving to 20th. So lots of good stuff happening, lots of good. Byron, and I need to bring him in, or he needs to just come in and explain it, because he talks about the water loops, and for folks that don't understand it, like me, I had no idea what he's talking about. But once he's done mapping it and showing it to you and explaining it, and it's actually quite fascinating, and I think a lot of people would find it interesting as to how it affects your water pressure, how it affects this, how it all works together. That most folks, my knowledge was I turned on the water, it came on, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
But he explains how that works, and so that all those parts things are super important for future development and future, even if you're just there, making sure you got the pressures you need and everything else.
Right, because Artesia is a little unique in that there's not one central water plant, but there's a number of wells all around town that then feed into the system.
Yeah. So it's a pretty fantastic system, and I'm not even going to begin to pretend, but I have sat through Byron's talk a couple times now to listen to it, because I would love to understand it. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend to. But yeah, we have a number of wells that feed into the system, that the tank's pressure and this and that, and he goes through it. And I think folks would be really fascinated by how you actually get water to your tap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and how much work goes into getting that water to your tap.
Sure. And of course, this is the first phase of the 20th Street project,
right.
But then there'll be additional phases after this one is completed?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can't remember how many phases there was, if they're, darn it. It's quite a few phases. So yeah, each phase a little over 100 and something days, and get it all done, repaired, and move to the next one. So I think it'll probably look a lot like 13th, maybe a little faster, but it'll be that kind of phased out work.
Yeah, good. Well, that be aware of that, folks, and follow the detour signs and all those instructions. So.
And I haven't been yelled at a lot, so I'm guessing folks have figured it out pretty quick, because that's a pretty major little intersection right there. So it seems to be going pretty well.
So after Artesia got 2.5 inches of rain the other day,
right?
I know they had some flooding up in Roswell and some issues there.
Yeah.
How did you talk about Byron and the flow and all this other kind of stuff? We don't have a massive storm sewer system, storm drainage system in Artesia, but they tried to design to handle the flow of water. What reports did you get back on how well all that was handled when we had that big rainstorm the other day?
Yeah, he said it went really well. I mean, obviously flowed real well. There's a few storm drains that we do need to clean out, because in between rainstorms, nothing happens, and then all of a sudden something happens. So, yeah, they'll be working on cleaning out those now that they've kind of washed themselves a little bit. So, but no, everything seemed to work well. I didn't hear of any issues anywhere that backed up or we had any trouble. So
yeah, I guess there was water flowing. There's so much. There was some water flowing in the draw, which we hadn't seen that for a while.
Yeah, and it went away quick. Usually you see it for a couple days, but no, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
long term.
People were down there in buckets, so we could take it to the desert. And
yeah. So, well, hopefully we didn't see a ton in there, because that meant we were soaking it up pretty good, which would be nice. So I know Cloudcroft and that area, Ruidosa, they've been getting. I mean, there's been some major water flowing up there. So we didn't get that, but we'll take the soaking rains.
That's good, because doesn't the water from, I don't know about Cloudcroft, but Ruidosa in that area, doesn't that eventually refill our aquifer, and that means we can keep watering our lawns?
Exactly, yeah. So thank you. We want to make sure we keep having water down here for sure.
Now, the other question as a result of the rains, and Jessica and I were talking about it yesterday, was the fireworks situation. So what has the council passed as far as fireworks restrictions, if anything, and how did the rains that we've had recently, how does that affect what people can expect to be able to do this week?
Yeah, well, the rains obviously help us both on the county side and the city side. We like to see those rains. The things it does also, because we had rains before that as well. And so what happens in the desert when it rains a little bit, all of a sudden, your grass might not grow, but every weed in the world will grow fast. So obviously that's a concern when weeds are going to pop up. But then with this recent set of rains, the chief feels pretty confident that there's pretty good moisture out there. But still, obviously, we want to be super careful this year. I know some of the other counties around us have completely shut off fireworks, and we didn't do that, but folks need to be really careful in the county and the city of what you're shooting, where you're shooting them off, and pay attention to your surrounding area, because you get it in those weeds or those bushes, even if they're green is good, that means it's at least alive and not dead. But I've seen those go up. When I was a kid, I might have accidentally set one of those on fire, and it didn't grow to a big fire, thank goodness.
Statute of limitation.
Yeah.
Hey, that could have led to a career in the Forest Service.
It could have, yeah. So
you don't have to say anything.
But thank goodness we had a shovel. It was just one little tumbleweed, so nothing happened, and it wasn't around here, so it's okay. But no, it was terrifying. I can still remember it as a little kid. I thought, oh my goodness, it was one of those little things, and it got in that bush. So just because it's green doesn't mean it won't burn. So folks really need to please be super careful out there this year. I mean, we've seen fires all over the place, and we sure don't want one down here.
No. So are there any fireworks restrictions that the city has in place?
We don't have any right now.
Okay. So the fireworks stands have been opened up, and people can
fireworks stands have been opened up.
Do that. Oh, that's good. And I know the city works with the chamber on the 4th of July fireworks celebration. And there's a lot of stuff going on at J.C. Park this weekend. J.C. Park has really continued to be, I mean, it's been a nice park for a long time, but it really has continued to be a really great place to hold family gatherings and other community events. Yeah, and really J.C. Park is one of our big focuses as a city right now. I mean, all the parks are a focus, but we're really zeroing in on J.C. Park, and we're hoping to, those
eating shelters. We're trying to upgrade those. They're looking pretty rough, and I think I don't want to call them original, but they've been there a minute, so it's probably time.
They're classic.
Yeah, they're classic. We could probably sell them somewhere for tons of money because I'm sure everything comes back in style. But we're going to try to fix those up some. It won't be obviously ready for the 4th of July, but yeah, JC Park. I think y'all keep an eye out there. We've got some big plans as a city to do some fun stuff and keep the activity park or whatever you want to call it, because it makes for a great park because there's not a ton of houses right around it, so you could have these activities and you're not going to have neighbors complain or anything else because it's out there serving its purpose. So
yeah.
Whereas the little neighborhood parks, we want to try to keep those little neighborhood parks and make them super nice, so the focus is still there as well. But yeah, we're excited about JC Park. But yeah, lots going on. That's kind of what I was going to visit. I didn't get times on all those, and I have been getting a lot of questions on the patriotic paint class. So hopefully while we're here, we'll get some answers. But some of the stuff that got put out, obviously.
Oh, that would be through the Ocotillo, right?
Yeah, and hopefully, I don't know if you have times. I didn't get one with a time. I just got the overall fly.
I got this one. There. Yeah.
Maybe you do.
So, but I don't have the patriotic paint class. That probably is through the Ocotillo, but we can find that out. But I have the Firecracker Scramble. That's the golf.
Yep.
That's there's 2 tee times, 8 a.m. and 1 o'clock. And Jessica was saying the 8 a.m. tee times were filling up.
Right. That would make sense because it's not hot. That's when I would do it.
That's right. The Big Rig Truck Rodeo is at noon.
Right.
And that's out at the Artesia Training Academy. And we had those folks on Friday of last week, and they real nice people, and looks like they are setting up for hopefully a big day.
Yeah.
For that. Have you ever driven a big rig?
No.
For
whatever reason, I think that'd be the coolest deal in the world, but no, I've never done it. So, and I also want to ride one of those big front end loaders, but no one's let me do that either. So, I don't know.
You would think.
I think my feelings are hurt. I don't know, but sure would like to dig a hole, and just one little scoop would be fun. I'm not asking for a lot.
Yeah. Well, that. I'm sure there's people with the county and the city that are going, no.
Yeah, guarantee you.
No, not going to happen.
Nope. Yeah. Don't take a picture with him in it. Don't do anything. He doesn't need to be around him.
I was watching a little documentary piece on the movie Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Which came out, I think, 77, 78, something like that. Big hit. Burt Reynolds, Jerry Reed. And Jerry Reed's driving the tractor trailer.
Right.
From Atlanta, Georgia, to Texarkana, Texas, to fill it up with Coors beer, and back.
Okay.
And not get stopped by the police.
Right.
That's the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's, if you want to, and I think I asked the training academy folks. I says, driving a truck, anything like Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah.
They're one of my stupid questions. And then on Monday, you have the Star Spangled Dash.
Yeah.
That's 8 a.m.
Yep.
The Independence Day Parade.
Right.
9 a.m. The 4-on-4 volleyball tournament.
Right.
9 a.m. out at JC Park. The Cornhole tournament is at 4 o'clock out at JC Park. And then the fireworks at 9 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's what I have on the...
Yep. Nope.
Did I miss anything? Or?
Not anything. The only thing I'm still lacking is that paint class, which... we put that out on Facebook last night, and a lot of people are asking about that one. And so I will get that information, and I'll put it out on follow up on my Facebook page with that.
Okay.
So, but the rest, I think you're right. Everything else seems to be following. Well, the golf course, obviously the golf course. So
yeah,
y'all don't go try to play the Firecracker Golf Scramble at JC Park.
Take a picture of that. You can add those times, and then I wrote down the prices for the cornhole thing. I don't think I've ever played cornhole. Are you a cornhole aficionado? Do you play?
I'm not an aficionado, no. But I do have some cornhole boards, and because I used to. Well, it was 4th of July when one of my friends would have it out at his house, and there'd be a whole bunch of us out there, and I'd play. It's a lot of fun. It's a super easy setup, and so Tanya ended up buying me some really nice boards that are really cool. I should show you a picture sometime. It's got the bulldog in it. It says City of Champions. They were custom made here by a gentleman, and man, they're nice. So anyways, we set those up in our backyard, and it's a good time for us and the kids just to kind of visit and throw bean bags. So But no, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people are playing it now. It's even made it to ESPN, so that's, they've got a little segment of Cornhole Championship, and go figure. So it's gone big time.
When ESPN first came out, all the major sports were on the networks.
Right.
And ESPN had to dig around to find sports to put on. So they had sumo wrestling from Japan. They had, what's the challenge where you get on the logs and they're in the river?
Oh, yeah.
I forget what they call it.
Like the logger days type deals, yeah.
Yeah, they're showing a lot of that. NASCAR.
Yeah.
NASCAR rarely got any TV coverage at all on the networks, but ESPN had nothing else to do, so they put the whole races on there. And I'm guessing that if cornhole had been a thing,
yeah,
it would have been a major feature. But now you're telling me it has kind of made it, because
it's made it.
Yeah,
right. Followed quickly by spike ball.
Okay,
which I don't understand either, but
right.
Apparently that's on ESPN. And it might be when there's not a lot of sports going on, they kind of find some of these others, because the axe throwing's a big one. I've seen that on there, and so a lot of those. But I think it's kind of cool. I enjoy watching them every once in a while. I don't know that I could watch a whole competition, but it's kind of fun to see something new.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad they have some new things.
Well, then they've got like the world of poker. People watch people playing Texas Hold'em and poker and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can understand playing the game and being a part of the game. I just can't imagine sitting there watching other people play the game. But people do. I mean, it's bowling is another one.
Bowling,
it's very popular amongst the people that bowl outside of the bowling universe.
That's like hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we just had the Stanley Cup, and my sister and her family live in Colorado, and they're hockey fanatics. And Dad and I tried to watch it, and I love watching in person. Tanya and I have gone to a few games in person. It's a lot of fun because there's a ton of activity and everything else, and on TV. And if you're a hockey person, I'm not bashing. It's a great sport. I don't understand it. And so after a few minutes, I'm like, it's like soccer. I don't understand it. After a few minutes, I'm like, I think I'm good.
Well, I watched a lot of soccer, high school soccer, this last fall because we were streaming it, and again, I'm not a soccer, so I don't know everything that's going on, and you pick up on some of the stuff, but it seemed like there was a lot of time. Okay, let me check, see, has anybody emailed me, has anybody texted me? There's something going on.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty exciting.
Right.
Okay, and now
well, soccer,
I'm going to get yelled at by the soccer people now for even saying that.
Well, that's why I say, please don't anyone take us wrong. I just don't understand it. But obviously, I mean, we went to England once on a mission trip here, and they're fanatics about soccer, and the stuff they do. I mean, if you're a soccer player, the things you can do with that are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I don't understand the rules, and I guess if I could figure out the rules and what that means and why the people have to stop, and I would be if I had kids in it, or go to more high school games, I guess I need to do that and understand the game. Then it's just like hockey. I'm sure it's a lot more interesting once you. Because my sister's family are super into hockey, but both her boys play. She understands the rules, and so...
I think one of the biggest ones I was having trouble with, and I kept asking the folks in the press box, why is this rule in place? Okay, in basketball, you got goals on each side. You got 5 players on each team, and the objective is to get the basketball down the floor and in the basket to get the points, right?
Yeah.
And if the defense messes up, or if the offense messes up and the defense gets a fast break, so the defense gets the ball and can run down to the other end of the floor, they can score.
Right.
You can't do that in soccer.
Right. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. No, that's it. Those are the things I'd love to understand, and I guess that probably makes the game way more interesting, because if everyone could do it, maybe that would be a problem. I don't know.
But there's no fast breaks in hockey, If it's offsides, or you got to wait for the defense to get back to defend the shot.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
I got the ball. I'm headed that way.
Yeah.
It's me and that guy, the goalie. I mean, why do I have to wait for the rest of the team to show up?
Yeah.
Well, if you did that, then there'd be a lot more scoring. Okay, what's wrong with that,
Right, yeah. So if you're soccer, you need to come and explain to us all these rules, because we'd really like to know. So,
well, I don't know if I'd go that far. So. All right, we have Mayor John Henry with us. We're going to take a break. We've got a little bit of